Crafty friends, welcome to a design team project where I used these stamps from ASC Supplies on Etsy, and these are hunky-dory stamps. There's a number of great Christmas stamp sets right now. Oh, why did I just click off of that? At ASC Supplies. Some of them are Lavinia, and some of them are hunky-dory, and there's lots of others. So, I hope you will enjoy these. I'm having a little tutorial on part of how I did these cards at the end of the video. So, if you're interested, stay tuned. All right. So, let me preface this by saying I found this technique on, I think it was Waffle Flower, did a video on this, and I loved it and was like, I have to do this. I have to. So, I got out all my stamps, and, well, I got these, and then I got out a whole bunch of other ones, and I mixed and matched, but I used this stamp set in every one of these. So what the gal did, who I'm, following her technique, was she used black paper, because the idea is for it to look like a chalkboard, like a chalkboard art. And she used Versamark ink and white embossing powder. You can get both of those at ASC Supplies. So, definitely, I'm not kidding, guys. You've got to go to the store. So links in the description box down below. So then after the stamping and the heat embossing, because this is heat embossed, and I will show you that in the tutorial, I took a white, let me see where it is. Here it is. A white, just like a colored pencil, and I did all these little lines to kind of, and this stuff around the edge. I gave my little deer a place to stand. This one's jumping, so she didn't need a place to stand. And then I just added more snowflakes and things, and it really, to me, gives it this lovely chalkboard look. I just love it. So, these are probably, not all of them, but some of these are going to be the ones that I use to send out for Christmas. So, I did this, and I'm just going to cut a white piece of paper to go on the inside to write my message. And then, what I also did was I did the envelopes. So, I used those same deer, well, this deer's the same, this one's one of the other deer. And I used the Winter Wishes from the collection. And then I did the little edging around the envelope. So I think that is so cool. I am just in love with that technique. So here's my next one. And this one is not from the collection, but the sleigh and the Santa are from this collection, you can see. But I had this stamp approved by Santa's Workshop, and I thought that was super cute. And the paper is from, all these papers are just from Michael's Hot Buy. So, and then this one, the envelope looks like that. And if you're wondering what you would use to write on these envelopes is, A, you could write it on white paper and glue it on, or you could use a white Sharpie. I also happen to have this gold pen for some other cards that I'm doing. But they make, these beautiful colored, like, kind of marker pens. And that would work just fine. So then I have these two, which I think, yes, they are identical. I just love the chalkboard look. It is so cool. And then on these two, they're like that. Let's check this one. Oh, this one I put snowflakes on it. And then, like, I have a personal stamp for the back, and I haven't decided which ones I'm actually going to use as my cards to mail out to people. These are a little bit heavy. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to weigh them. I may have to put 2 stamps on them because there's a lot of cardstock. Then there's this one. I really like this one too. I love the snowflakes that I added on, and then the snowflake background. And then there's Santa with his reindeer. That's from the collection. And then this is something that I just had in my stash. And then we have the little chalkboard marks there. And then we have these two, which are the same chalkboard art, but the paper is different. And what I added was this border right here is a different collection, and this is from a different collection. But this one is from the Hunky Dory stamp set, and the little gifts are also from the stamp set. I so super love these chalkboard ones. And there's Santa and the reindeer on December 25th. And same on this one. So there you go. After, like I said, after this video, there'll be a little tutorial on how I did the chalkboard part, if you're interested. I'll be honest with you, I did 20 of these. It took me all day yesterday, but I did get some household chores done in between. But, you know, I think people will generally, if they know you're a card maker, they will really appreciate that you took the time to make them a card. So head over to ASC Supplies. You can get, like, I mean, you can use any kind of stamp. This doesn't even have to be just for Christmas. This can be any time. And thanks to Waffle Flower for the inspiration. So have a happy scrappy day. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and head over to ASC Supplies. Thanks, guys. Bye. The other day, I was watching a Waffle Flower video, and the gal had done these cards, and they came out looking like chalkboard. So I've already started doing some. And I liked how much they came out so much that I'm going to do all of my Christmas cards this year like this. My mother likes clean and simple, and it's much cheaper to ship clean and simple. So, I got out my stamp set from ASC Supplies, and this is the stamp set for the Love of Stamps by Hunky Dory. And there are a million stamp sets over at ASC Supplies, so check it out. I even was just now having a thought about, like, doing a little chalkboard, like a chalkboard inside like a frame like this, and with the little sentiment, and it looks like the chalkboard's inside of this, and this is just like a resin frame. But I don't know. Ain't nobody got time for that. So anyway, this is what I'm using. And I pulled out a whole bunch of other stamps that I have, because I liked some of the elements from that, but I wanted like a bigger sentiment. So I picked out Merry and Bright. And I'm using the reindeer from the collection. And I'm using my, what is this called? A Misty. I don't use it very much, but I'm using it today. All right. So I placed my stamps how I want them. And now I'm going to close that and get the stamps exactly where they need to be. And I'm using Versamark, and you can get this at ASC Supplies. I just juiced mine up with once yours starts to dry out, you can buy the stuff to put on it. So I did that. And I'm taking my powder tool, which I believe Crystal has at ASC Supplies. It's really easy. It's just like a little, it's got powder in it. You want to put that on there. And then close it. And get that on really good. All right, that looks like it's got plenty of the Versamark ink, which is like clear. And I'm just using my white embossing powder. I was going to do that off camera. I'm like, oh yeah, you're doing a tutorial here. All right, so I've got a couple little spots here. I'm just going to take a little brush and brush off those little spots. If I have some that are on there, it's not going to matter, and you'll see why in just a minute. I'm going to take my trusty heat gun. Hey, stop barking. Uh-oh. We're going to have a fight here. Shiva, stop. Alright, so, you know, we've got the little deer here. It has some imperfections in it. But I don't mind that at all because we're going for this hand-done chalkboard look. You know, so to me, when you get an imperfection in your stamping, it just makes it look more, you know, like a chalkboard. So, the other thing that I saw, because I don't want to claim this as my own, let me see where this is. Yeah, my own idea, is the gal showed how to do the edges of your piece with these lines. And some of them you want shorter, and some of them you want longer. And she did them probably a lot nicer than mine, to be honest with you. But again, you know, in a lot of things, I'm very, very particular about wanting them to be perfect. And in some things, I think they shouldn't be perfect. And a chalkboard sign for me is one of those things that just should not be perfect. Okay, so we've got all those little lines. Now we're going to come and we're going to go the opposite direction. And I like some of the lines short and some of the lines longer. She added some other colors. I think she added red to hers. I kind of think I like the strictly black and white look, but I guess it depends on what you're coloring. She had colored some to-go coffee cups. And I'll show you how I'm going to use these. I mean, I probably already did in the previous, you know, what you saw earlier before this. But I'm not just going to put this on a card. There's going to be a lot more color added to the card. So just like I did this one where I added the stars and the snow, I'm going to do that, only I'm going to add bigger snowflakes than the other one because I have more room on this one. And some people might think they look like stars, and some people might think they look like snowflakes. So you want to kind of do different sizes. And then I just add little dots. And again, the dots can look like snow, or they look like stars. But I really, really like this look. I'm sorry about all the background noise, but I have a big dog. And she's feeling feisty right now. I'm going to give this little guy a place to stand. And then one thing that I like to do that that gal didn't do is I want to kind of give it a little bit of a white border. To me, for some reason, it looks more chalkboardy to do it that way. And it's really simple. This is just a regular white colored pencil. I pulled it out of my colored pencil box. My colored pencil box that I tried to sell a while back and nobody bought it. And today when I decided to do this, I was like, oh, thank goodness I have that. So this is just regular 110-pound black cardstock I get at Michael's, if you're wondering about that. So voila, there you go. Like I said, I'm going to do all my Christmas cards this year with that. And we'll do another video. I'll show you how I put it all together and make the actual card.